Broadcasting live from the heart of the Duke City, it's time for a great afternoon of sports entertainment.
Is there another headset there that's turned up?
Get ready for in-depth discussions on everything from the court to the field, mixed with the business and culture that its world, whether
I could just hear it through the cue a little bit.
or the societal impact of sports. 2 Men On with your hosts,
Mike's hot.
Fred Slow, with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
It's Thursday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? Well, that means New Mexico beat both parts of Texas in the Little League World Series, and they're going on to play Louisiana. Let's go, kids.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
I didn't even know Louisiana played baseball. That's awesome. Good for them.
You feel like they would have lose. Aside from LSU, I don't feel like Louisiana.
Who imports people from New Mexico.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
That's the only reason they're any good at all.
But there you go. Way to go. Little League World Series updates. I don't watch that. Little League World Series. I don't watch that.
Not into kid stuff.
I'm not.
Okay.
I think I get weirded out by kids sports. Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. How are you, Isaiah?
Doing wonderful.
Do you watch kids sports?
No.
No, I don't either.
No.
I try to get into high school sports. It's like hard for me.
I think I could get into high school sports.
Yeah? Me and Van were just talking about this the other day. The last baseball game he and I called together was for ProView.
Right.
And it was like Sandia versus somebody. And it was like every ball in the dirt. Everything was just like kicked around the infinite. And by the way, I get that they're high schoolers, they're kids. I mean, I'm not trying to critique the play or whatever. But like being so fortunate to have called like collegiately and professionally and like all those kind of things, it's like a different type of broadcast. And I think I didn't love it. You know, like I like the idea of a ball being hit to short. I can look down at my score sheet and put 6-3 before the play's over.
Sure.
You know, and that doesn't really happen in high school, whatevers.
I'm not that crazy for like parents coming up to me and said it's pronounced Josue.
Oh,
not Jose.
Miss me with
it's
that.
Josue, not Jose.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw you go through that, Fred, sometimes.
oh my God. The last college I broadcast for was New Mexico Islands University, and I would call games, and that was fine. Also, as we're talking about the Little League World Series, the baseball and softball parents at New Mexico Highlands were wildly different than what I had seen elsewhere, because they were very a cohort.
Okay.
Yeah, because there I don't know how to say this without putting out weird energy, but there was a bad budget for those two sports at the university. Those two sports did not receive coin the way that football did, the way that basketball did, and also wrestling had like a pretty big war chest, right? So baseball and softball parents came together. Like they were like part of the team. They were filling in the cracks, Van, for those teams. So like when those parents would talk to me, they were like, hey, I need you to make this change. By the way, keep in mind, we paid for all the kitty litter to dry out the field. I'm like, yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
What a wild angle to come at you with.
Well, it made sense. I mean, it wouldn't have been doable without them. Would not have been doable.
I've met some lovely people in children's sports.
Same.
But some of you parents out there, you know who you are. You're listening right now. You're already upset. Your stomach's already boiling because you know you're one of these people. You need to chill out. You need to chill. These are children. Let them have fun.
Yeah.
Let them learn the game. Don't ruin it for them. Like some of you ruined it for me.
You sports parent is wild.
Mm-hmm.
There are really, really good ones.
Yeah.
There are really,
sure.
really good youth sports parents.
The patient, calm, supportive, fundamental people. Like, that is awesome.
I remember being in like JFL.
What's that stand for?
Junior Football League.
That's Fun League. Okay.
Okay.
That same thing. And I was in 5th grade, and I would see certain kids, you know, they'd be like in a good mood at practice, and then we get done with like a team segment, and then they'd go over to we'd all go get water on the sidelines, And then he'd come back over and he'd have like tears in his eyes. I'm like, what happened? My dad keeps yelling at me.
Oh,
I'm like,
gosh.
oh gosh, that sucks.
You know what the one that really messed me up when I was a kid? Because I hooped. I was a basketball player. And if a gal that I had like a crush on would show up to a game, I was a disaster. Like if I knew like the girl that I was crushing on was watching me hoop, I was like, I'm gonna miss every shot. Like I can't get my head right. But if like my mom and dad were there, like R.I.P. my dad, like if they were there, I would like not care at all. Like,
dude.
like they're supposed to be there.
Exact oppo for me. Exact oppo. If one of my
Same.
homies was there, a girl I was crushing on, I'd turn it up to 11.
Shoot.
I got a couple more miles per hour out of that heater. Like them balls flew a little harder off the bat. But if my folks were there, especially my pops, who was for a while, he was Little League dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a couple embarrassing moments, but it was out of love and support.
See, I was
If they were there, I was like, oh God, here we go.
I was a lineman, so like it wasn't too unless he saw me just straight get pummeled, I wouldn't hear anything. But I know he would offer me money for like to get a pancake, like push somebody over.
Your
or
dad
something.
would do that?
Yeah, he'd be like,
Oh,
if you get, because
dang.
I was offensive lineman, so he's like, if you get pancake, like I give you $20 for each pancake you get. I'm
The-
like, okay, I'm trying to get
Sweet.
somebody on the ground.
The problem
No one ever thought pancakes for pancakes? No, that didn't work.
the problem with playing offensive or defensive line as a youth football player, it's like when you go to watch your kid in like the choir or band, you can't really tell if they're doing it right. You
Yeah.
can't really, you just know they're part of it.
Yeah.
You're like, and you'd hear a dad that don't know, or a mom that primarily a dad, block down.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not what this is. This is a draw. Like that's not what we're doing here.
Also, Little League parent or whatever, a junior sport parent
Yeah.
who yells at the umpire, who yells at the referee, who can't keep their mouth shut and realize
Mhm.
that these people are volunteers. They do this out of the kindness of their heart and the love of the game and love of the children. And you're yelling at them for balls and strikes. You're yelling them for out or safe calls. Hey, listen up, Rick.
Yeah.
They're looking for volunteers. How about you step up and put on the face mask?
That was my
Rick.
that was my first job as a kid, 14 years old. I was calling balls and strikes at the Park and Rec.
Yeah.
So I was like behind the plate for whatever 11 and 12-year-olds. They're like 5 minutes younger than me.
Yeah.
And I'm behind the plate. I'm like, strike. like, they're like, and then somebody like you're 14 and some parent would be like, Ty doesn't go to runner or whatever. And you're like, brother, like I am 14. Like my mom dropped me off here. Like I'm going to spend all $12 I'm making during this game in the concession stand before I leave. Like you are confused on my level of anything here.
You know what? One of the worst feelings in the world. Like I said, I was a lineman.
Fire.
No.
Okay.
So I would imagine so. But I was a lineman, so I never was really exposed. But then in 8th grade, for the first time and the only time, I tried out wrestling. And with
That's the
wrestling,
worst one.
you're like isolated. And, I'm a very prideful guy, and my dad knew that. So like when he showed up to the wrestling matches, that was a completely different source of like nervousness.
Yeah.
And that year is when I learned how to turn like nervous energy into like there's absolutely no chance I'm letting the worst case scenario happen. So like wrestling like sprouted that little bug in my head that it was like, all right, nervous means we're going to elevate here and we're not going to shrink. And I had to, because like you're out there in the middle of the mat, and I lost the first 2 matches.
Like of all the weird, like pumped up, dumb podcast regurgitation you've ever done, this is the most insightful thing you've ever said. Like this experience from your life, like this is the stuff you need to package out, because this is absolutely correct. Like, yeah, take that nervous energy into positive production. Heck yeah, dude.
I did junior wrestling for a couple years in Carlsbad, who took it way too
Of
seriously.
course, everyone does.
And I didn't have the love for it like I had, football and baseball. Like I was all in on those two sports.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But my heart was in it for wrestling. And I was the strongest, decent kid. I could wrestle, throw some kids around.
Yeah.
But I would throw matches for money. So people's parents and grandparents would be proud of them that they pinned Van.
That's so sweet.
I'd say, all right, $5, and you bring me a handful of Snickers
Yep,
minis on
Laffy
Monday. You bring me a bag of Sour Patch Kids and a 20-ounce bottle of Coke. I'll
got it.
roll over for you, dude.
I did I did Rams wrestling. That was the one where we grew up. And I was a little kid, but I was big. I was like a big kid, but I was little.
Right.
I was little in age, big in size. So I have to wrestle with kids who are like substantially older than me. And yeah, they put a whooping on me all the time. Like they've been wrestling for years, and I'm over here like trying to learn about like a single leg shoot,
a hip toss.
Yeah, and I grew up like WWF fan. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I showed up the first day of practice. I got like a Rambo headband on.
Yeah, baby.
I'm like, let's go pro wrestle or whatever. And they're not about that life there. And I remember skipping. Oh my God, the day I quit, I'm like a little kid, like however old a little kid is. And I'm like, Mom, Dad, like I want to stay home and watch Rambo First Blood.
Sure.
Like I'm not interested. This headband has really got me, y'all. Like
Fred's first wrestling match, he just rips off the bandana and he's like, "Give me the microphone." A lot of you people out here.
Yeah.
Just cutting promos in his singlet.
Let me tell you something, little brother. That's what I would say to these kids.
One thing about the little strategy, though, I had to get it in check, and I knew this because it was my third match. So I was 0-2 at this point. I lost my first 2 matches. And the third match comes up, and I've got my headphones in, and I am probably like 9 out of 10 angry. I'm to that level where like you feel tears coming. Like you're not crying for any reason, but you're so mad.
This is in Bloomington Normal?
Yes.
Are you wrestling white kids or black kids?
This was a black kid.
Okay, cool.
And I remember this one was white, but the match after he was black.
Got it.
And I was in Danville, so they were mostly white there.
Yes,
Danville.
100%. That's towards the city.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm there, and I got tears getting ready to come out of my eyes, and I look over to my right, and the kid I'm wrestling is standing next to me, and he looks at me, and he gives me like a thumbs up, like good luck, have a good match. And I couldn't even get any part of my body to even interact with him.
Oh, God.
I was just so locked in. I just looked him in the eyes and looked back forward and got even more angry. Like, he's trying to take me off my grind. He's trying to knock me. Definitely won that match in 9 seconds. It was second in school history.
Getting pinned is the worst. We have Duke City Championship Wrestling the other day. So Tommy Two Scoops Test is a really good pro wrestler for us, right? But he was also like a state champion level wrestler, and he was a collegiate wrestler. So he's doing the state championship. This would have been a handful of years ago, and he's retelling the story because we're all sitting around telling stories. And he goes, "Yeah, I lost state championship," talking about the Wilson Center in Las Vegas, New Mexico. He's like, "Oh, I lost state championship right there in the middle of the floor." And I go, "Oh, that's tough loss." He goes, "No, I got pinned." He's like, "It was the worst."
Oh, no.
And he's like a super successful pro wrestler, like beautiful wife, cool life, and he still holds on to when he got pinned.
That was his bottom.
Yeah,
like that. He never got worse for him
because you're trained to just do everything you can. Like that's the equivalent to being on a football field and not running after somebody who's going for a touchdown. It's to not fight when you're on your back. So like in the back of your head, like, oh, I'm done for. But you have to keep trying to twist and get your shoulder off the mat. And the ref just smacks the mat, and you hear the opposition just go nuts. That's so depleting.
And if you do it in front of their fan base, because like we were talking about parents, that's how this whole thing started. If you do it in front of them, they lose their stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like when their kid pins another kid.
Yeah.
Like not only are you a loser in that moment of competition, you're a loser to that family forever. Like that family will retell the story for they will forget your name. They will forget your face. They'll forget your likeness. But the emotion they felt is real. They'll hold on to that forever. When they regurgitate the story a million times over, the pin gets even more significant every time. Yeah. It wasn't Isaiah got pinned. It was like he got pinned, and they put the fronts of his toes on his forehead, and it's the whole thing. And you live in that person's life forever.
You ruined Thanksgiving, Ricky.
There's Ricky, no longer Rick. Yeah, I
was young Rick.
I dodged that terrible experience because I was at a tournament and I did lose the first match. And luckily in tournaments, if you know the way the bracket goes, you can possibly get to wrestle that same guy again. And I lost my first match, and it just so happened I won all the rest of the matches because I was in Undertaker mode.
Nice.
And then I get to my final match, and I see his parents had now made it to the arena, and they were there watching. And I looked over at his parents, and I said, "There's no way."
You said that
chance.
to him?
I kind of
internally.
said it in my head. Internally. I said, "Oh, I'm not losing. His parents are here," and I beat him about 9 seconds.
I feel like I remember beating a kid when I was young, and then like telling him he was terminated. And I was like,
Nice.
this is what an 8-year-old would do. This is exactly the life that I lived.
Guess who wasn't saved by the bell?
Yes. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, wrestling was the weakest one for me. I hated that one. But youth baseball, I like when families are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's about finding those right organizations too, right? So we big announcement coming Monday, but we'll tease it here. So we just started a partnership with Duke City Cages.
Yeah.
And Duke City Cages, cool organization in town, couple locations, one downtown, one up in all the old Gardner Schwartz building.
Uh-huh.
But they are just building teams from and it's super affordable and it's a cool environment. But like a lot of the individuals that work for they former professional baseball players. We're going to have on the show today in the 5 o'clock hour, 5:15. Rob Stratton's going to join us. He today was named to the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby X that's going on Ice Toast Park.
Yep.
He's one of the local competitors. So he's going to come on and join us. You used to play baseball with him.
That is accurate.
He played professional baseball for like 10 years. Now he's over there, obviously, doing a ton of cool stuff. And we're going to laugh a lot. It's going to be a good little afternoon.
Oh, he's got some stories about me, baby.
Yeah,
And I got some stories about him.
Friend of the show, Steve's got some wrestling stories he wanted to share.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we have to go to break, but we're going to sneak it in. Joining us on the program, friend of the show, Steve. Steve, welcome.
Hey guys, good to talk to you again. All your talk about wrestling made me have a bad memory.
Oh, here we go.
Back when junior high, I wanted to wrestle. Unfortunately, at my weight, on my team was a state-ranked wrestler, so I got to wrestle 45 pounds over my weight.
Oh, gosh.
And I can tell you, I got pinned in every match within the first minute, except for the very last match. I made it all the way to the third minute. So.
What was the weight class? what was the weight class? Do you remember?
I don't. I remembered I weighed 128 pounds.
Oh, that's a big difference. 120 to 160 is unfair.
Yeah. I think it was 168, if my memory serves. But
I believe.
Yeah, it's funny how those things stay in your memory and they never leave.
I believe Adam Sandler would refer to you as Sumo Steve.
He might have. But anyways, thanks for the memory. Trip down memory lane, guys.
I like that a lot. Steve, thank you. I feel youth wrestling ruins adult memories.
Sure. He'll never forget that.
Never.
It's some of the worst moments,
that memory was one of the worst of his life.
Yeah.
And he lived a rich, full life all the way up until today when we had to remind him about it.
Your stepmom in the stands screaming, "Kill him!
Yeah.
Kill him!" And you're like, "Oh, why are you yelling that?"
Good Lord, Janice, pipe down.
But the best is when you got them on their back, though. And then you get to that point, you want to look around and you feel like you got to yeah, this is it. This is any second now, ref. Any second. Go ahead and hit the mat for me.
When I was at Highlands, I was the voice of every single sport, right? So I'm doing them all. Yeah. And then when wrestling would come around, I would give the broadcast microphone to redshirt freshmen on the wrestling team. Because the only thing I know when broadcasting is talking about wrist control. Sure. I'm I don't know a single thing. I can't tell you who lapel is. I can't tell you anything to do with approaches or how the point system really works.
I know the word shoot. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember win a point, lose a point.
Yes.
The old pro wrestling karate kid move.
Very much like that.
Back points and stuff like that. That's how I lost the first match. This third match, the guy kept the coach is let him get up. I'm looking at him why would I let him get up? And they kept telling me to keep taking him down and tech fall him 13-0. You get up 13-0, you win automatically. And they're trying to tell me to tech fall. I'm looking over at him, and then I got rolled over. And that was the guy in the tournament. That's the guy in the tournament I came back and beat. That's how I lost the first match.
You tell me tech fall, and I'm thinking Lego Technic bricks because I'm 8 years old. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm talking Rector sets.
Tech fall? You mean the downfall of Twitter? That kind of tech fall?
That's good. Yeah. Tech fall, you mean Van's reaction when I beat him at Tekken?
Oh, that's never happened.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Eddie Gordo, maybe.
Eddie Gordo slaps.
Dude, I hate that guy.
Whenever we get back from the break, it happened today. There was we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it until it was over. And it happened. We'll tell you more about it live from Sadie's on 4th on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought
Clear.
Window Depot.
The Window Depot is your go-to spot for Milgard windows.
Welcome back to the program. We're going to sneak a soundbite into this one in a minute. It's just taking us a minute to get together because I was an idiot. So today, we didn't talk about it, Van. You and I didn't text about it.
Nope.
I know we were both aware of it.
Yep.
But not often do you get to talk about no.
For a baseball lover and a ex-baseball player,
Mm-hmm.
I was never the most superstitious guy out there.
Okay.
But this is one that every baseball player agrees in unity.
Don't talk about
that. You don't curse it. You don't talk about it. You don't say anything. You keep your mouth shut until it's over.
So just messing around a little bit today were the Padres and the Washington Nationals. They're just going to play a day game, Van. They said it's a Thursday. Let's just go out there and play a quick little getaway game. We got a weekend series coming up.
Mm-hmm.
This, that, the other thing. And Dylan Cease messed around. and got that complete no hitter against the Nationals, and it was a wild one. Like they kind of have signature big plays and stuff. This one was, you kind of felt it coming on fifth inning, sixth inning. You kind of felt it, like oh, there's a groove here. This is fast. This is efficient. And Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres has given them, I believe it's only their second no-hitter in
second all-time for the Padres history. That's correct.
Isaiah, we got it?
Yes, we do.
It's our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. IshamDentalABQ.com, 505-881-0422. Reach out to Scott Isham at Isham Dental. Get that exclusive offer on the website. That, of course, is free exam and x-rays. Get your dental denture work done. All forms of insurance, including Medicare A and B. Our Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
Abrams to right field. Johnson coming in. He makes the catch. No hits for the Nats. Dylan Cease throws a no-hitter. The second no-hitter in Padres history. There'll be a sea of San Diegans celebrating back home today.
A sea of San Diegans. Cease of San Diegans.
I believe it's San Diegans. San Diegans.
Like a
yes.
Like a Dylan.
Spanish for a whale's body part.
Also, congratulations to the half dozen National fans that were at the ballpark today. This is an away game. There's like no one there.
Sure.
At the end of the game, your team hasn't got a hit. Do you stick around for history?
100%.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Especially if you're a Nationals fan. You want to see something positive.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Nationals' defense, they've played out of their heads this year. Like, they're supposed to be the worst team in baseball, maybe second worst after the White Sox. And they're actually competitive, 47-56. But if you're going to no-hit somebody, this is one of the guys you want to pick. Like, give me the Nationals.
They're not good.
They're not good.
They don't have it.
They ain't got it.
All
they
right.
got C.J. Abrams, though.
Can I be difficult?
Can you do the thing you always are? Go ahead.
Nice. Did his arm physically fall off after the 114th pitch? Oh, it didn't, Van?
Historically, 114 is not a lot.
Oh,
but when you're pumping at high 90s, 114 times, it's a different game.
The internet is acting. The internet is pretending that 100 pitches is a super magic number and that you can't pitch past that.
Right.
Dylan Cease seems to be perfectly fine. Also, they had one of those highlight plays. I don't know if you saw it. So there's a pop-up to second base, and he goes back on it. So this is, what's that in the book, 4?
Yep.
So he goes back to it, and he's like, it's the running backwards. I have to get my glove as I'm going away from my body. And he doesn't get it. He like squeezes it wrong.
Squeeze it, pops right out of the glove.
And it pops up to the Merrill kid who's the center field.
Yeah.
And he's running in full speed. And it's just hot potatoes right into his glove. The classic 4-8 pop out, put it in the books.
Happens every day. The old 4-8. Put it down in the books. Routine.
All right, here's the line.
Dude, Jackson Merrill's face after it popped out of his glove into his glove, it is classic. The surprise, like the general surprise and excitement that he knows how big the stakes are, and he ended up making that play. It's a really cool moment.
Dylan Cease's last 3 starts. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
22 innings pitched, 0 runs or earned runs, 2 hits, 7 walks, 30 Ks.
He's always been a dude, but he's never really put it together. He's been wild. People drop bombs off of him, but it looks like this stud that people saw coming a long time ago is finally putting it together. And watch out if the Padres get into the playoffs, because if he's on, that's an auto win.
Bogarts was a little shaky all game long. He also had another one at second. It was like a hard hit grounder between first and second, kind of like it was a left-handed bat, so it was moving towards the first baseline. You know what I'm talking about as it shoots the hole. So Bogarts goes at it. He comes up, loses it, has to extend his glove full distance from his body to pull it back in after he lost it and the transfer. Still makes the play. He was just inches, moments, seconds away from double erring and ruining the whole thing, and then it just ended up being that much better. So Dylan Cease today, I think has solidified himself as a league-wide dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's pitched like this for a while now, but like I said, never really put it together. But like his last 3 starts, and especially today, has solidified him as an ace. Watch your back, National League.
3 walks for the Nationals, so it was that close to a perfect game.
And that's been one of his problems in the past is the base on balls.
Mm-hmm.
He'll walk somebody and then drop a bomb and then ruin a good outing.
Well, I get, that's a point. I was talking about the errors. They don't count as hits.
They do not.
So whatever. It's a fun thing, though.
Yeah, but again, they were on the road, and you know how the home scorekeepers do. Those aren't errors. Those are hits at home.
Padre means father.
Go for it.
Just that's all.
Go for it.
No, if you don't want it, I'm not gonna.
He's the Padre of every American today, as he is the daddy of the Nationals.
His 110th pitch went for 100 miles per hour. Get some ice.
And when it happens, and those sexy pinstripe road jerseys makes it even better. Padres merge game is untouched in MLB.
Oh, they're pretty good, man. Was he with the White Sox before? Is that who he
Correct.
was with?
Yeah,
When
he
did
came
he
up
come
with the White
over?
Sox.
When did he come over to the Padres?
It's his second year in San Diego?
This is the highlight of the White Sox season, too, then.
Yeah.
Did they beat him like 12-3 yesterday? Like,
so bad.
The Padres hate the Nationals. I
think a lot of people hate the Nationals. It's pretty unfortunate because they've done nothing wrong.
No, that's not true. They had Steven Strasburg and Bryce Harper for a while, and that upset people for some reason.
Oh.
Max Scherzer upset people for some reason.
Upset my Astros in the World Series. That one still stings.
Those little bobbly error plays that don't end up being errors, they end up being outs. They're much cooler after a no-hitter is completed.
Oh, duh. Otherwise, just like, hey, man, you got to squeeze it.
Yeah.
And if it's a no-hitter, you're like, oh, great play.
And that Merrill kid was so cool coming in on it. He wears some of that dumb eye black, but I'm not going to make fun right now.
Hey, it's a day game. It actually kind of a little bit helps during a day game. Night game, not so much.
That play is the one where we were talking about the Little League Baseball. That's the one where coaches forever will show it. Like,
follow the ball. Don't give up on the play.
Yep.
Don't give up on the play. You keep following the ball. And I think if Jackson Merrill was just coming in, it would have been a routine catch for him. But he's like, oh, my God, our $200 million man, Xander Bogaerts, is running after the ball. I'm going to give it to him.
And he can't field it for anything. So, I know I saw him earlier.
Yeah, he didn't get $200 million for his glove.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we step away to come back. So there's a lot going on in the world of the NFL. We're going to hit on those. The Olympics opening ceremonies are tomorrow. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Talk about that, too. We're at Isotopes Park. We usually go roll baseball heavy tomorrow. So hear me out. We hit on the NFL a little bit today.
Yep.
I definitely want to talk about the Olympics. And then I am the guy who will run away from Isotopes Park to watch the opening ceremonies.
Sure.
I am the guy. If there was a way to pay $20 to go to an IMAX to watch the opening ceremonies, I would pay that $20.
How we didn't get ahead of that baffles me.
Do we have an IMAX here?
Got a couple.
I think I meant to say OmniMax. What's the one where it's a circle ceiling?
Ah, yes. We got one at the planetarium.
They've never been there before.
I grew up with, what is that called? Is it called an OmniMax? Am I making that up?
IMAX is a real thing. So if you're
IMAX is a real thing, yeah.
Okay.
OmniMax Theater.
Now they have these things that shoot water at you and stuff.
Yeah, OmniMax is the circle one I'm talking about. It shoots water at you?
Yeah, there's little movie experiences now. I forgot what the name of it was.
Dog, I have seen how poorly movie theaters clean their soda fountain tips. There's no way
No.
I'm about to sit in front of a hose in a theater.
Yeah.
It's called
Cool.
4DX.
It's called what?
4DX.
It's for watching Jaws?
I'm pretty sure that would hit on it if they come out with a new one.
Do you want new COVID? Because that is how you get new COVID.
Yeah.
Audiences sit in big chairs that move, rumble, and shake along with the action, and strobe lights, fog, and even sprays of water help make you feel like you're a part of
Are
the
you
action.
talking about Universal Studios?
Hey, miss me with the water. Yeah,
It's in there.
are you
It's
talking
in
about the
it.
Jurassic Park ride?
No,
Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, is this the Hogwarts ride at Harry Potter Land?
The creator of this 4DX definitely is a fan of the Jurassic Park ride.
That has to be the ride. What other ride would
Give
it be?
me all your spare parts, Jurassic Park. I'm gonna build a theater.
Hey, you know what's going to make this even better? Just like whenever you get it from the seat, you don't know if it's water or otherwise from this roller coaster. That was our move when we were kids. We'd go to Six Flags. We'd get out of our roller coaster seats, and you'd pour a little bit of your water bottle into the seat.
Nice.
And then they didn't know if it was water or pee.
And you stand behind the bushes and watch them sit down. He's like,
the roller coaster play would come up and be like, "Oh, wipe it down." Like it's pee. So there was this. It would go completely pitch dark on the mine shaft. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
So the mine shaft roller coaster was the big one at Six Flags. It go completely dark, and you would sneak the water bottle in underneath your shirt because you're not allowed to take it on the roller coaster. And then whenever you would sit in the front, and then whenever you go down the 90-degree drop of the roller, it's not 90 degrees, but it feels like it is in the dark. You pull out the little water bottle and you do the thing where you smash it real quick with your hands, and then it just shoots water at everyone behind you. And then you go, "Oh, I'm soaked," but you're not. You're not soaked. Idiots.
Just a little drop of yellow food coloring. Just a little drop.
That's why I wasn't good at wrestling as a kid. 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, live from Sadie's on 4th, the sports animal.
FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Mike's hot.
All right, Isaiah, I sent you some audio. You're back at the station. I'm at Sadie's on 4th. Now, I haven't watched this yet. Now, did you vet it? Is it safe for radio?
It is safe for radio, not safe for the ears of Cowboys fans.
Oh, no. Okay.
Makes
So
it better.
I'm setting this one up for you. This is, you might know this guy's name, Van, Jerry Jones. Okay. So
The Kool-Aid guy?
No.
No?
This is the cult leader. So
Okay.
he took on the media today. So if you remember, the Cowboys had the worst offseason in the history of any professional football team.
Whoa, slow down.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They re-signed a really good long snapper.
Does he have a name?
Do any long snappers?
He did not sign any of their 3 best players to new deals, and they didn't bring in a free agent of significance. And today, Jerry Jones was ready to take on the media. Also, this new Cowboys hat is not as cool as the Cowboys think it is.
Nope.
Their logo is iconic.
Mhm.
It is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing this weird stuff where you're trying to look like the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, I don't like the keep the navy filling with the white outline.
Right?
I don't like the reverse.
No, this thing sucks. Okay. Now, this thing's like a minute long, and we're going to stop and overreact regularly. Isaiah, whenever you're ready.
Here. I'm all in.
Oh,
I'm all in.
ah,
Sometimes being all in means you narrow. You remove the months out
pause
here
it.
that are in the future.
Oh, my God. Is he telling me he's all in and then explaining to me what all in means?
Mm.
Oh, God.
It's not a good start, Jer.
Sure.
He's making no sense. Oh gosh, he's making no sense.
Okay,
This-
Yeah.
He's starting to show his Trump Biden a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready.
More Biden.
It's both bad.
And you narrow it down to where all we're talking about is right now and the next playoff season. And that's it for everybody. We're all in. We're all in. It's all right there. Let's okay.
What?
We all got some things out here in the future, another 2 or 3 years on contracts, all that stuff. Let's all get in here.
Huh?
Zero right now in this. Dak's got his year contract. Let's focus right here. We all got a lot on the line for that playoff game. A lot of it. So you got to understand a weird way of looking at it. A little.
Hey, okay.
On the line.
All right, that comes from,
All in means, and let me interpret this from my point of view.
yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
From what I've heard, Jerry's definition of all in is JC on the sea. I hope my players play better next year.
Yeah.
That's what all in means. This thing
Yes.
that I've already put together and didn't help at all whatsoever. I hope these guys play better next year.
I recognize that this is Jerry Jones's car, but sometimes you got to take the keys from Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Should have a long time ago.
this is not the one. Also, big thank you to Ari Myrov, not familiar with him, from My Sports Update on the Twitter for providing that. Okay, Jerry Jones being all in sounds like a guy who puts salt on his or on his sausage McGriddle, telling me he's all in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't take this for anything. You didn't say anything. You went for
Yeah.
1 full minute, and you finished the sentence with the word you started it with.
He's got a lot of word salad quotes today from the conference. I thought that was going to be a different soundbite, but that one is actually even worse.
We've all got a lot on the line for that playoff game. Is he talking about a singular one?
Yeah, the future one. He
Just
alluded,
the one he's going to get?
He alluded earlier in the thing. He's like, we're focusing on this year, this playoff series.
Van.
Mm-hmm.
The wild card is our Super Bowl. Let me tell you this. Like, that's what he's
And
doing.
he's also saying, if we win a playoff game, mission accomplished. I think the reason it seems so confusing is that you would assume that he already was all in, like he already was zeroing all of his future. He said, that means all the future deals in the future. That means we're narrowing in now. Okay, so that means that now you're all in. So you're just now looking at the future contracts and figuring out what you're going to have to do. So now you're all in. So basically beforehand, you didn't care about winning. You didn't care about the contracts. But now, don't worry now. Now Jerry cares about winning.
So when I say all in, what I mean is we got all of it. All right, we got all of it right here, and we got the stuff, and we got the junk, and we're gonna put it in, not just like a little bit of it, like all of it.
Now where you
we got
put it there?
We got players who are showing up to practice, and then what they want to do is they're gonna play football, and what they're doing is all of the things that they're doing, they're into it. So they're all in. By the way, who bought a new hat?
There's going to be
you buy some new hats.
No, so
they're pretty sharp hats.
There's going to be a Dallas Cowboy blue with white lettering T-shirt that just says "All In" on it tomorrow.
It's going to be a parody. It's going to be a parody,
and
shirt.
People are going to buy it.
Give me a parking lot one. I'm not buying one from.
Hey,
Fanatics.
give me a parking lot one, and then I'll put a weird comma after all, and then I'll finish the sentence with whatever I want underneath.
I'll say the White Star does look very good on their Thanksgiving uniforms. Those are some of my favorite uniforms of all time. The Cowboys Thanksgiving uniform, it passes there. But other than that, leave it alone.
Don't they only have to wear that whenever they play Detroit because Detroit refuses to wear dark, and that makes Dallas have to wear it? It's just like a real power play.
Yeah. The only time of the year.
I know on Thanksgiving, that's like their little traditional uniform.
Do you remember? You won't remember this, Isaiah. Man, do you remember in the 90s when Bart Simpson had a catchphrase?
Okay.
This is what that felt like.
Okay.
This felt like when Urkel would break something and you were just waiting for him to say, "Did I do that?"
Right.
That's what this was feeling like at the end. I was expecting an I caramba. Like I was expecting a cowabunga.
Every time he steps through the threshold of a door.
Yeah.
I'm all in, boys. Get it? It's a thing I did.
Eat my shorts.
I think what we're seeing also right now is we're seeing really terrible dumb answers, because like what's the main thing you do to anybody that's like of power and power of something, and they promise something or they say something and you call them out like, hey, that's not what. Usually if you put somebody in the spot and put the heat under the chair like that, they will not know what to say. And I think Jerry, everyone's holding him accountable, because now even the Cowboys reporters are like, hey, Jerry, the fans were told that you were all in. What do you have to say to the fans?
Well, these are a generation of reporters that have never seen the Cowboys win. Like it's over. Like I feel bad for Cowboys fans. I feel bad for the idiot Cowboy fan who has heard this stuff every single year ad nauseum for the last 30 years, and they're letting this senile old dude just mess with them.
Sure.
Like, yes, give me some blood in there that's not willing to deal with this weird stuff.
Okay, so 22, we had Weed and Boys. 23, this is our year. 24, yeah, all in. Let's do that.
Let's do all in.
Yeah, cool.
You guys are familiar with Jane Slater? She's like the main she almost cost herself her job.
The AC's kiddo?
Yeah, AC Slater's kid, Jane.
Okay, I didn't know that. I don't know who AC is actually, but I'm guessing it's her because she's got a pretty role there. She's like the main Dallas Cowboys reporter, and she like right after free agency, knows right after the draft, she like put Jerry on the spot. She's like, "You said you were all in. Like, what do you mean?" And he got upset with her. He got upset with her as well. He's like, "Well, Jane, what I mean is," and then like afterwards, he tried to back off, but he's getting upset because we're all holding him accountable to what he said, and he's not used to it.
The NFL Network's not trying to fire their prettiest sideline reporter because Jerry gets mad, but I'm following what you're giving me here. We wrap up the first hour of the program where we get back with our 66 Diner Blue Plate special moment of the day. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Diner Blue Plate Special moment of the day. Van, you already know what it's going to be. You already know what the 6-6 Diner Blue Plate Special moment of the day is going to be. They're not breaking up the band. ESPN has reached out to Charles Barkley and the entire cast of Inside the NBA. What a special moment, as we thought it was over yesterday. And if you want to have a little special moment in a blue plate yourself, head over to the 6-6 Diner, 505-247-1421. That's 1405 Central Avenue. Tell them the boys sent you. I'm not sure if that'll get you anything, but it's nice that they know.
Just say hi. Tell Van and Fred.
Yeah. Boys
We
say
said hi.
Yeah. Trying to get a malt. Can we get a malt? So
I don't know if Chuck really wants to do it after next year. Like,
well, fine.
They're putting their eggs in the wrong basket.
You could do.
See, he had the best round of golf of his life a couple weeks ago at the American Century. Maybe he thinks he's got the chops to go pro now at 61.
Well, he's the interchangeable part. You just you pull him out, you put Stephen A in, you call it done.
Oh my God! Please, less Stephen A.
Don't interrupt my blue plate special moment of the day.
Man, you crazy. I'm tired of talking about basketball, man. How are they going to be a professional golfer?
Man, I can't believe we're going to commercial again. It's only been 90 seconds. That's ESPN.
I'm going to go out on the road and DJ with Shaquille O'Neal. DJ Diesel, man.
There's 0%. He would Charles Barkley would show up in a Mickey Mouse T-shirt the second he got there because that's all he's going to be. He's going to be exactly whatever Mickey Mouse wants him to be.
Oh,
he's not going to say a thing. He's not going to be versatile. He's going to be present and not himself because TNT needs it and ESPN don't want the smoke.
Hard disagree. They're going to do whatever they want, and I guarantee you it's built in the contract that maybe they're for ESPN, the big mouse, Disney, the parent company. They're going to have some definite legal language built in that they're not liable for any crazy stuff that Chuck and Shaq say. But they're just going to have to be themselves because that's the show.
Man. They will put Chuck in ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN Deportes, ESPN News.
Sure.
They're going to go back and redo episodes with the Sklar brothers and put him on that somehow. Like that's how they will run him to the ground.
I got a special line in my contract that says I got to do all the games in San Antonio. Get them big-legged Mexican girls. Only girl eating them churros.
Rob Stratton joins us after the break. He's going to knock it out of the park on the show, and then at Home Run Derby X, he's going to knock a bunch of them out of the park.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as well. It's Two Men On live from Sadie's on 4th, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We're at Sadie's on 4th. This is local talk. We eat local.
Yeah,
when we're at Sadie's on 4th. And when we hit dingers, we do it with local talent. Rob Stratton joining us. Brother, welcome.
What up?
Put that microphone right in front of your mouth.
Gotcha.
How you doing, my man? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so for those that don't know, and I guess that would be I didn't live here in 03. You know what I mean?
It's a long time ago.
This wasn't my home. You were the original Isotope. You were the guy.
Yes, sir.
But that's a crown. That is a cool title to have. In the inaugural season, led the team in dingers. Was a big part of it. Won a home run derby that very first year, the AAA level against my Memphis Redbirds. You were the whole in Memphis, not against the Redbirds proper. But no, you were that. You were the thing that helped bring the team in, and now you're hitting home runs and home run derby X some 21 years later.
It's pretty amazing just to kind of be in this situation again, and after retiring for so long and retooling myself as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to kind of come back in this environment and do something that I really was good at.
Did you ever teach Van how to play? Because Van told me before the show that you and he played a little men's league together.
We did.
Yeah, that's 2 fun summers, man, for the MABL Giants. Rob was a must-see TV. If you play at that level, I'm sure, I'm speaking for you a little bit, but you get that itch. You got to go out there and hit some bombs. And I was fortunate enough to play a couple summers with you. And the year before we played together, I'll tell this story real quick. The year before I played with you, I played against you.
Mm-hmm.
And you strike fear into the heart of opponents, my friend. Because one time I was playing against you, the first time I played against you, I got you top of the zone, a little fastball. You took it. It was a strike. And I got you to foul one off straight back, had you down 0-2. And I was like, I'm burying a slider in the dirt. He's going to swing at this. I throw the best slider of my life. It's going right at your thigh, going right towards the low inside corner of the plate. And we're playing at the baseball field I'm going blank on Montgomery and San Mateo, that La Cueva. We're playing at La Cueva. You hit it out of the park. The best pitch I have in my arsenal. You hit it out of the park and you one-hop it in the apartment complex, dude. So I know you still got it. We're super excited to see you drop bombs at Home Run Derby X.
At the press conference today, 4 local competitors were named. So you're going to be there, which is awesome.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, Van, you played baseball with Rob for a long time. My friend Jared Gay is going to be there.
That's
and
awesome.
I played softball with Jared for a long time.
Yeah.
You and I watched him hit before they redid all those baseball diamonds on Eubank and Lomas. I don't know what those are called.
Sure.
I mean, we watched him hit them in streets, while we were over there. So he can swing it too.
He
can mash it.
Yeah,
He
mash it.
Yes.
He hit a KOAT truck driving up Eubank, right?
It was unreal. So he's going to join us on Monday. He wanted to come in person too. And he runs like a winery in town or something. So he was like, "Oh man, I'm not available on Monday."
And he's a specimen. He's like 6'6",
Yeah.
and
most handsome guy in the building, and you're
Yeah.
like mad when you see him.
So yeah, he's got a lot going for him. That's for sure.
How old was he in 2003?
He might have been
Not born.
7, maybe. He might have been 7.
So all right, so you and Manny, you're about the same age, is that right?
Manny, I believe, is 52. I'm 46.
Okay, so you're just chasing a little bit. And then, it kind of, there's a difference after that. Like, you guys are kind of the elder statesmen of this thing, but you won a couple derbies. You've been in front of big crowds. Like, what's the nerves like? Like, what's the energy in your body?
Well, the nerves are there.
Yeah.
But, I handled those nerves for, over a decade,
Mm-hmm.
So I have a good understanding on, how to apply those. So I use it my advantage. I use some of that jitteriness to my advantage because that's what's, I'm out there for. I don't want to fail, right? So I'm pushing myself, to be the best. And so I kind of go off of those feelings and harness those feelings to give me an advantage in these situations. And I hope I will bring experience, when I come up there, since I've done this numerous times, and hitting a long ball is something I really did, very well.
Yeah.
And especially 5 o'clock, in BP and stuff like that, you
Right.
know? And then 7 o'clock, it got a little bit more difficult, but at the end of the day, it was definitely one of my specialties.
So the formats are a little different than the derbies you participated in before.
Yes, sir.
You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to hit as many bombs as humanly possible. Like, what's your strategy here? Are you going to pick the best of the best pitches, or are you going to just swing it for 2.5 minutes?
Is it a machine, or can you have Van pitch to you? How does it work?
Well, we tried out, it was a pitching machine.
Okay.
So we all were held to that same standard. Every man's got to put his pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
So I went in there, said, "Hey, let's get it done." Right.
I just showed up pantsless.
And then now we have batting practice. So we'll have a good chance to take BP that day before everything, and still have a BP thrower during the event. So for me, it's just a lot easier seeing the ball instead of everything being spit out at you.
I'm going to say it right now. You pick the charity of your choice, and we will raise $1,000 if you let Van do this. I will find a way if you go out there and just leash them off of him, because number one, you deserve that, Van. You deserve to have a bunch of home runs hit off you, and you have a ton of experience at it.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, he's hit plenty of home runs off of me, and I've seen him hit plenty of bombs already.
But you're a true competitor, though. You are.
Yeah, I think like the competitor in me start throwing sliders low and away from you, dude. You're like, snap out of it, Van. Give me Peters right down the middle.
Now, so Van was at the Y today we got a big golf tournament coming up, so Van's working with that. So I was at the press conference. I didn't know this until the press conference. You have to play the field?
Yeah. So there's another component to this, right? Not only just the long ball, hitting the long ball effectively over the fence, but also when you're out in the field, there's like a catch zone. And I believe Major League Baseball is going to be giving me a call to kind of go over the rules a little bit more and kind of, talk about what you can and can't do and things like that. So I look forward to that phone call. And, but yeah, I think there is a component to where if you catch a ball within a certain area, you gain defensive points, and all that adds up to your total points, to go on to the semifinals,
And so your partner is going to be Ian Desmond, played in the bigs for a while. Rocky, he was an ice tope for a while as well. I mean, have you guys reached out to each other yet and said, let's go, let's do this?
I have not. I never even met Ian Desmond, in my career and stuff like that. I've met Manny before and stuff like that. But, it's just going to be great to be around these caliber of guys and get out there in front of a hometown crowd and, just go produce and see all these studs, the girls, everyone, All
right, so make sure I got my history right here. It was definitely the Mets. What round was it?
I was first round 13th pick in the nation in 1996.
Pretty good.
Big deal, brother.
And that was straight out of high school, right?
Out of high school.
Okay, and you grew up on the coast of California?
Santa Barbara, California. Born and raised. Was there for 28 years, and then,
They make baseball players out there.
It's a big state. It's baseball's a lot different now than when I grew up. Now it's just so competitive at such a young age that I think, it's taken a little bit of the game away, some of the fun away from it. But, I guess that's just how the game is now. It's just things have changed.
Was it always corner outfield for you?
It was. I had a strong arm. I could run well. I wasn't a center fielder when it comes to speed, but I could run well for my size.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a small dude. So at the end of the day, it was just corner guy, first base, right field.
Rob Stratton joining us on the program. He's going to go out to Isotopes Park and embarrass the landscaping. So we're very excited about that.
Did you send a text or an email to the people who live behind Isotopes Park? Because you guys are going to drop some serious bombs.
Fireworks will be going off early.
You got the platform on third base. You're not hitting from home plate. There's going to be an elevated platform around the third base area. There's so many bombs are going to be hit into the berm. And you think that might affect your focus a little bit, hitting at a different angle on a field you've never done before?
No, I did fine going out there, a few weeks ago. And they had us at those different angles and stuff like that. But they did say they were going to maybe move things up a little bit to kind of make it more manageable. Because at Isotopes Park, that home run zone is a really high fence. So,
right.
Hitting that ball out there is going to be, a pretty good chore. But, I know I'll manage. And
what was your last year of professional ball?
2006.
Okay. And that's independent league ball?
It was independent, but also with, with AAA as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just didn't want to hang it up yet, and stuff like that. But I was just coming back off of 7 Achilles tendon surgeries. And plus staph infection. So I was really having a hard time recovering and not being a small guy, having those those calf muscles not really as strong as you need them to run in and out of the field every day and play 162 games is difficult.
So back at the studio is Isaiah Johnson. Your last season in Independent Bowl, that was Joliet, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's where Isaiah's from. Isaiah is like a northern Chicago. Isaiah, have you got out to see the Jackhammers or the Slammers in the time that you were growing up, like in that area?
So I was Normal, Illinois. So it was a couple hours south.
Oh, was it that
right?
far?
Yeah, a couple hours south of Joliet.
It's such a cool experience out there. Like the stadium was cool. Like the city, as far as Independent League goes, it's as unique as you can get and one of the best. So, well, my mistake. I thought maybe you might have had a little experience with that one. So.
No, my stadium was all corn belters.
They just got there just chucking corn.
No, that was the name of I think it's a AA team.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I thought you would know.
No, I'm not. I just know the cool ones. So
I thought that was a slang term for people from northern Iowa. It's like a real team.
Yes, the corn belters.
Rob Stratton with us. We're going to go to break. You want to hang out for one more?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit. Also, we didn't say anything whenever the hour started, but it's 5 o'clock, so it's our teller hour, man. So I'm having a house Marg here at Sadie's to celebrate. What are you messing around with?
I got a little sipping on a little red beer here. A little Modelo with lime, a little dash of tomato.
Well, you know what that means about Isaiah? He is jealous. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Sadie's on 4th. Rob Stratton joining us on the program, former Ice Tope, former professional baseball player, and now participant in Home Run Derby X. And I pulled up your stat sheet during the break, okay? I got some numbers here. So in your career, at least being reported by baseballreference.com, you have over 200 career home runs, 205 career home runs.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. You have just 3 shy of 1,200 career strikeouts.
Yeah.
So you going to swing and miss it all at this thing? Or?
I mean, that is a possibility, right? If any baseball player that's swung the bat enough times, they know that swinging and missing is always, a possibility for sure.
I'd call a timeout right away.
For sure.
But there's one thing I do have to say in my defense is, I went up there and I committed to that baseball.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And when I committed to that baseball, I was given everything I had. And that's why you saw what you saw. You saw the longest, balls hit, and you also saw me walking back to the dugout. So
we should have some special with Sadie's here. Like if Rob swings and misses at one single solitary pitch, free Margs for the first 20 people to show up.
Yeah, show up with your Manny Ramirez jersey that you got for free at Ice Topes Park. Get a Marg. You played one season here with the Ice Topes. That's 2003, and in 2003 at 5,100 feet. You hit the most career home runs you ever had in a season, and it was a standout thing. Did that mentally affect you when you came here? Because you grew up in California and played all over the country. Did being here at this elevation go, I can hit it even further?
Well, yeah, the ball flies here.
Yeah.
The only other place I've seen it fly further is Colorado Springs with the Sky Sox up there or whatever. But, yeah, the ball definitely travels here. The wind's usually in your favor in the evening and stuff like that. But, I also hit, 29 home runs at the All-Star break, and then I got hurt that season.
Yeah.
And I ended up with 32 or 33 or something like that. So I had most of the home runs in the first half because I had quad injuries and just couldn't heal after that. So, but, yeah, definitely enjoyed playing at the Ice Topes Park with that wind tunnel out there.
Love that.
I'm stoked for the energy of Manny Ramirez coming back into town because him rehabbing here is still one of the biggest moments in Ice Topes Park. You mentioned that you know him already, you played with him already. Is there still that level of fandom when you see a guy 500 home run level, Hall of Fame level at Manny Ramirez, or is it just like coworkers?
No, it's not like coworkers. He's one of the best that's played the game, and
sure.
Just being around that caliber of a guy and all the other guys that are going to be there and girls and everyone else. So to me, it's just they're a cut above, and it's nice to be around those individuals because they're cut from a different cloth and they understand what sacrifice and work ethic is. So it's good.
Rob Stratton joined us on the program. We're talking about Home Run Derby X. We're talking about the game of baseball. You played a lot of years professionally. You met a lot of athletes, a lot of baseball players. Who is someone we might know? Who is someone that you came across in your time playing professionally that you think would do really well at this? Who's a person that you think could step in off the street or whatever and say they can hit home runs in this series?
Jay Gibbons.
Yeah.
He's just always fit. He's just always stayed in shape. He actually beat me in a home run derby back in A-ball, one of the ones I've lost. So it's kind of frustrating there, but he's just always in good shape and stuff like that, takes his fitness as a priority and stuff. So I think he can come out here right now and hit some balls over the yard too.
So are you able to bring your own bat? Does it have to be MLB stock, or you have bring whatever you want? They inspect it and then you get to go, or how does that work?
Well, they can do whatever they want. That's one thing.
You don't care about the equipment?
My bat's I have a bat that I won the last home run derby with in 2007. So I have that one as a backup, and then I have a hag bat, which is kind of it's a wood bat, just a maple bat that's a little bit stronger and stuff like that. And that's the one that I'll probably be using. So it's just natural wood.
No metal, though.
No metal.
Composite, nothing of that nature.
No.
I don't. Too many people will die if Rob's hitting with a metal bat. There's no way.
I just don't even like that feel in my hands.
Okay.
I like that solidness of a wood bat and just the balance of everything. It's just swinging a metal bat and a wood bat's just different.
The reason I ask is because I got a cork guy. We want to rig this mother. Wait, did I just say that out loud? Did I say that on air? My bad.
Rob Stratton with us. We are talking Home Run Derby X this time. He's a professional baseball player, and you're joining us here at Sadie's on 4th. So obviously you played here for the Isotopes in 03, and then you made Albuquerque your home, right? So
Yeah.
so you're teaching now. You're part of the community in a bunch of different ways. You got over to our friends at Duke City Cages to really stretch it out to get ready for this. What's your preparation now? Are you gonna go to the high school field and take hacks? You're gonna go back to Duke City Cages? Like, how do you get ready over the next month?
Well, yeah, Duke City Cage has been gracious to me and allowed me to go in there and hang my hat and take some hacks and stuff. So I'm going to utilize their amazing facilities to, get prepared.
Yeah.
Take, hacks off the tee, live hacks, a lot of just different things to kind of get ready. I'll be taking intervals, interval training, when it comes to 2.5 minutes.
This is the most serious approach I've ever heard.
Yeah, sure.
So, it's just kind of, you got to do interval training because there's a physical component to this,
When's the last time you caught a fly ball?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
He's already on it, baby.
Rob's like, don't ask before then. Don't ask before Monday. What? So you go through the tryout. You check all the boxes. I think Major League Baseball picks you, right? It's not like the Isotopes do. They send the video off, or
yeah, it was actually pretty awesome. I mean, I'm sure the Isotopes, they gave their 2 cents,
the rub,
right?
yeah.
And then Major League Baseball got to do the final decision and stuff like that, which is great that they chose me, and I'm just happy to be here with you guys and happy to represent Albuquerque on.
So who
August
called
23rd.
you? Who called you to tell you were in?
John Traub.
Good dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
amazing guy. Yeah. I've known John for over 20 years, and he was the assistant GM when I was with the Isotopes.
Right.
And then after I didn't come back to the Isotopes, he took over the position. It's been great since, so.
There was 1 year to let him warm up. And he was like, I got it. Cool.
Yeah, I told you the story about Rob dropping the biggest bomb in my entire life off of me. Let me tell you one about playing with Rob. Because you know what it's like in a baseball dugout. Everyone's like dropping F-bombs and telling jokes and asking about their weeks and how's the family doing. And, we're retaping ankles and, wrapping up wrists.
Locker room talk.
Getting ready for the next inning, however that works for each player. When Rob walks up, it's a church in there. Everyone shuts up and turns their head and watches Rob hit. It was night and day. There'd be 8 players come up, and we're shooting the bleep. We're hanging out, having fun. We're talking about what we're going to do after the game. Rob comes up, and it's must-see TV. And, Rob, you're going to be must-see TV at Home Run Derby X. And they picked the perfect person for it, and I'm really stoked.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for those kind words. I always enjoyed playing with you and that camaraderie we had and just that competitor that you are, man.
Rob Stratton, Jared Gay, Gene Trujillo, and Jared Mang are the 4 local participants selected by Major League Baseball Van to compete in the Home Run Derby X. That's Friday, August 23rd at Rio Grande Credit Union Field. We know you're here, Rob. Obviously, Van is a big Team Stratton guy. Jared Gay is going to join us on Monday. I'm a big Team Gay guy.
He's a stud. He's a stud. You guys are going to like him.
And then Mang, who's from Los Alamos, he went to the University of New Mexico, was a dude for multiple years under Ray Birmingham. We should call Ray.
Yeah, let's get
we should
Ray
have
on.
Ray on. And then the young cat Trujillo, he's not even 20. He's like a sophomore over at UNM.
I think he's 19.
Yeah, and he was like, I went to St. Pius. He's one of those like best in the state, goes to the best college in the state for the sport. He's going to show up and also probably win the whole damn thing. So it's going to be very good. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then obviously Manny Ramirez, Ian Desmond, Ryan Zimmerman, Johnny Gomes, and can't leave out the ladies, Van. That's Jocelyn Allo, Alex Hugo, Ashton Lansdale, and Andrea Howard, who I think might be engaged to Mang. I think
they are.
Yeah, I think they're in like
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're shipped up. So
those are all studs as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun out there at that one. You were talking about must-see, and we have just a couple minutes here. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. I was so very fortunate to be a fan of the St. Louis Cardinals. And we had a player named Albert Pujols for a long time, and it was the same thing you just described. Like when you'd be at Busch Stadium, you would lead the concession stand line. You would make sure you were standing there to watch. Who was that player for you when you were a kid, Rob? Who was the guy that you had to watch every time they played ball? Who was the guy that made you fall in love with the game, or at least introduce you to it?
Well, Darryl Strawberry was
good.
one of my favorite, players, growing up.
Fitting with the Mets. That's nice.
It was.
Yeah.
It truly came out. It was a great inning there. But Albert Pujols is another guy that just has an amazing story. You know, he hits the same way, or I hit the same way he does, or vice versa. We have the same philosophy when it comes to hitting down through the baseball. And now they teach a different style of hitting today. It's a lot more difficult to master. But you can be effective if you're strong enough. So to each their own. But looking at those guys, the Bash brothers, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco.
Yeah.
Huge.
They were a big proponent, of getting me involved in baseball and stuff, and my parents as well.
Nice.
Watching them play baseball, climbing the trees at the softball fields, and all that stuff matters,
One of Van's favorite players, George Springer, uses the axe handle bat. You ever swung one of those? Are they weird?
I have. They're awkward.
Yeah.
Because I don't line up my hands in a specific way where you use the axe handle,
Right.
So, but so if you like that type of grip, the axe handle works well. But I don't recommend it, me personally.
There you go, Van. Don't use it.
He's not. He's going to use my one-of-one corked bat that I'm going to provide for him for Home Run Derby X.
Rob, anything we missed before we let you go, brother? Anything?
No, I just can't. I can't thank you guys enough for allowing this opportunity to let more people hear about it, and we want to get people out there to sell some more tickets and make this a fun event for everyone to come with their family.
Now, how many old team uniforms do you have in the closet? Because we need to borrow them all for one night.
I got a bunch. I had a bunch. So, whatever you need.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole section. We got a vision. It's going to be loud and obnoxious, and you're going to hate it if you're losing. And if you're winning, it's the reason you got there. I have no doubt in my mind. Rob Shine, thank you so very much, brother.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Whenever we get back from the break, more from Sadie's on 4th. It's 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Just
Animal.
Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We're live at Sadie's on 4th, and I'm sitting at an angle on the live stream because I got a weird zit.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it's like I'm tipping my nose. I look like Rudolph.
Now, hold on. You got a weird zit on the tip of your nose.
Yeah.
Well, let me zoom into the camera here.
Oh, you too?
Because I also got a weird zit on the tip of my nose. What's going on?
Yeah, Isaiah, what's up with you? How's your Ozempic doing? You doing good?
I'm Ozempic.
I just assumed.
No, I'm doing good. I was shaving. I was giving myself a little mustache lineup and cut my lip a little bit like a few days ago. Had a super ugly scar on the lip.
I brushed and cut
Put
my
one
lip
on your nose. We could all be triplets.
So I already miss Rob Stratton. Like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I miss him.
I miss playing with him.
His aura was breathing through the camera.
You call him Meat Mountain.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
It's a big boy.
He's a big boy. That's a lot of human.
Meat Mountain.
Isaiah, he's like half an inch shorter than me, but like lots more muscle.
100 pounds of muscle more.
Like,
yeah, and he always has been.
That's a
He is going to drop bombs, and he's like a super humble guy. By the way, he is a legit stud at his craft. It's impressive to watch.
Now I know. Now I super am aware. You were telling me, man, that if you play college softball, you can make a milli?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Stanford gave up their best pitcher of the last 2 years, and they didn't give her up. She went out to oil country and got her some oil money, and she is the first softball player to get an NIL deal for 7 figures.
What?
Yeah, $850,000 more than the second largest NIL deal ever.
From Phillips 66?
I don't know exactly from who.
But that's the story.
Yes.
All right, so give me some deets. Who is this player?
Najee Kennedy.
All right, that sounds like a guess.
Yeah, that is definitely a guess. If you couldn't tell by the way I pronounced the name.
$1.2 million?
Yes. Player of the year last year.
That's
so
Stanford.
she's the best to do it. But Texas Tech, I mean, are they known for being a softball powerhouse?
The Matador Club is like the NIL association out there at Texas Tech. 1.2 million?
Not for a career, not for like 8 years to play. This year, she's gonna make 1.2 milli.
Ask me what kind of money is out there with NIL, and I'll tell you 1.2 million for a softball pitcher.
Softball pitcher.
The highest paid collegiate softball coach is what? Like, I need to know.
As much as like a tenured teacher, maybe? Like 6 figures?
If you coach softball at New Mexico Highlands University, this is public record. You make $60,000.
Okay. And you got to teach.
Yeah, and you have to drag the field. This is very different.
60? Wow. It's a little higher than I would have expected. Jeez.
Oh, Isaiah, you're going to throw your hat in to be a softball coach now?
No, I would imagine, though, I bet NCAA, I think UCLA coaches got to be up there.
Najee Kennedy is reportedly set to make $1 million. The highest paid softball coach, and this one tracks, is OU's, which wins the Natty.
OU in Texas every year.
Patty Gasso, she makes 1.625.
Okay, that's around double what I would have guessed.
And the University of Texas, the next highest paid, is Mike White at 625.
That's around that I guess
Yeah.
an elite coach would make.
I was gonna 500 was what I was thinking.
Help break this sentence down for me. I'm having an issue with it.
Yeah.
It says, for UCLA, a commitment of $1 million from UCLA alumna Shelley Carlin will endow the UCLA softball team's head coach position.
That means she's just paying for that job.
Yeah.
But in that one gets interesting because you have to be, well, I guess you don't have to be W-2. Yeah, you do with the state. So she's going to put it into a fund for the university, and the university is going to pull from that fund to pay for that position. But what's going to get weird is if they try to move on from that position.
Right.
Because I bet the endowment dissolves.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lawyer thing.
I'm assuming that the money that the endowment pays for the coach, they get to spend what they would have spent on the coach on the program. So instead of giving to the program, they buy the coach, which all used to be under the table, by the way.
Yeah,
none of this is new. They're just finding creative ways to do it in the public
They
eye.
all change their name from Peter to Paul or Paul to Peter, and then they just rob each other until it makes sense.
So they said an alumni. So it's kind of like what they said Phil Knight's doing with Oregon again. He's just using his own money.
Well, that's all NIL, but yes, yeah,
Gotcha.
Endowments are a little different. That's like if I were to give $1 million to somewhere, I'm real selfish. I want my name on a building.
Right.
But some people might want to pay for a coach.
Right.
Put my name on a building. I need the Fred Slow natatorium. Like, that's what I want.
Sure.
Let's go swim.
The Manfred F. Slow.
It's not my middle name.
What? It's not? It's not
F.
Manfred
Slow.
Fitzgerald Slow?
It's not Manfred Fitzgerald.
I've been wrong for
F.
years
Slow.
now.
F slow. I mean, it's a good guess. You see the F dot slow. I see that a lot.
Yep. You're picking up what I'm putting down, Zay. Appreciate you. That is so much money for a college softball player.
It's so much money for OU and Texas to have to top.
Dude, yeah.
That's,
Welcome to the big leagues.
Setting the market now has entered the NIL in college.
So basically, Texas Tech just has to score one run every time she pitches all next year, and they're kind of guaranteed to win. That's worth $1.2 million, right?
All right, hear me out. Name the college you're a diehard fan of.
Don't have one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
So we're
for
bad
sure.
examples. Isaiah, you got one?
No.
No. All right, so we're not good here. Some loser somewhere just said Alabama.
Yeah.
Some loser somewhere just said Notre Dame. Some loser somewhere just said North Carolina.
I mean, the college you grew up watching, or hopefully the college you went to.
That's
the one you support.
I went to Washington State.
Yeah.
I'm a big Washington State supporter and fan.
Sure.
And when they come here to play the Lobos, I'll wear my Wazoo gear. It'll be a whole thing.
Yeah.
For $1 million, I would become a Texas Tech fan. I would just give up all of that fandom immediately. For
$1 million, you'll be a Texas Tech Raiders fan?
Dog, I would.
You know the amount of awful things I'll do for $1 million? The list is long, my friend. It is a long list.
All right, you have to give up.
It is a very felonious list also.
When we get back from the break, the I-9 varsity of the team we would give up and the amount of money we would give them up for to support the rival.
I like this.
This is a good one.
Okay.
It's 2 Men On. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This
Welcome back to the program. We're live at Sadie's on 4th. You ask why? Well, YMCA is Central New Mexico. Are we there next week? What's up?
We're going to the McLeod location on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah, baby.
That's where Jared Gale will join us. He's the new local competitor in the Home Run Derby X. We'll talk with he while we are there. League office 280 at i9sports.com, 505-312-4999. Flag football, soccer, baseball, volleyball. Learn to play the game with I9 Sports. Today's I9 varsity is the I9 varsity of teams you would give up for $1 million. The answer, I think, is all. So we need a new number.
Yeah.
I think we would all stop being fans of current things we are fans of for $1 million.
Again, let me reiterate the miles-long list of things that I will do for $1 million, including selling out my beloved Houston baseball Astros.
So, and that's for you, it's the Astros, right?
That's the one that would cost the most.
Okay. And for me, I don't want to say the Cardinals because that's baseball, so I'm going to go WWE.
Okay.
So I'm going to say I have to become a fan of AEW, which it would be tough. That would be tough for me.
Okay. You're not talking like fans of a specific wrestler. You go against his rival? Because, I
was going companies.
To me, that's not a ton of difference. You still get
pro wrestling.
You still get pro wrestling.
All right, you're making a really good point here. Okay. So I'm going to have to go back to baseball then.
Yeah.
Because I saw the St. Louis Cardinals would be the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
And all right, so Isaiah, you have unnecessary fandom of a lot of teams. Which one are you picking here?
I would currently turn on the Lakers and be a Celtics fan because they just won the championship. So that'd be it.
Yeah, you might even do that anyway.
He's already negotiating.
Yeah.
He's like, you got $12 on you?
Nah, I was until Tatum hit I can't believe we did it. And put his hands on his head.
So cringy.
So I think $100 is too little. I would not give up my St. Louis Cardinals for the Cubs for $100.
It would take
500?
Way more than hundreds.
1,000.
I have hundreds.
I have hundreds.
I have thousands.
Same.
We would have to talk about.
Would you do it for $10,000?
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
This is the type of numbers that was like, okay, you want me to be Rangers fan? Like for life?
For life.
We'd have to talk those numbers.
Ryan Sandberg is offering
I got that much.
I said Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan is offering you.
Also an Astro.
I know.
Yeah.
$10,000 to give up your Houston Astros fandom.
This is really hard to do.
Like that's a tough number. That's a lot of money to me.
There's a lot of money. Like it would solve a lot of problems I have immediately.
You have problems
for an extra 10,000. I mean, I got a lot of choring to do.
Yeah.
I just hired that out instead of doing it myself. See, the Packers I'd give up way easier because of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you already hate them.
The human beings that they are.
Yeah.
It'd be way easier for me to sell them out. But the Astros, all they did was try really hard. That's not a deal breaker for me. There's a picture of me in a onesie, a baby in a crib.
A little baby
with a
onesie.
Tequila Sunrise striped Astros jersey on. It would be so hard for me to sell out my team.
Isaiah, $10,000 to become a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Nah. Permanently?
Yeah,
forever. Yeah, forever.
Oh, no.
But you'd be so much happier after a while.
For 10,
it would sting for such a short amount of time. And you could think about all the Eagles tickets and merch you could buy with $10,000.
How I processed that question was, Isaiah, you can get the Cadillac you want now to be an Eagles fan. That's pretty much how I processed that question. And still, I would say no.
15.
Nope.
I think you're wrong.
I think you're wrong.
What I've learned from Prize Picks is that when money's just money's just given, it doesn't stick as much as you would think it would stick. So I feel like that 15 would turn to 5 way too fast. Now, if I worked for it, I'd feel different.
By the way, when I have lineups on Prize Picks in the future, I am not saying the person's name out loud ever again who will complete that lineup. Garrett Cole choked for me yesterday. I needed 6 innings. He got 5.2. I needed 6 strikeouts. He got 5. That one hurt me yesterday. I had 4 lineups in the bag, and all I needed was the Yankees ace. I'm not saying it out loud on this program anymore. I'll give you my picks. I'll give you my hot takes. But if I have a lineup that depends on a guy, I'm not saying it out loud ever again.
I don't believe for a second that Isaiah's not taking 20 grand.
He's taking 20
He's
grand.
going to take 20.
He's taking 20 grand.
And here's what I need. I need all of his dumb Cowboys gear.
Yeah.
He has to hand it over.
Dude, think about like a sweet vintage retro Randall Cunningham jersey, bro. You could fill your closet with Reggie White gear, bro.
Here's how I'm thinking about this, right? As you said, I'm from Illinois. Imagine taking a Chicago Cubs fan after they won the World Series, right? And then you ask them, would you trade this feeling to go back 20 years ago or 10 years ago and to not have been a Cubs fan? You'd say no. The long drought made that World Series win that much sweeter.
Yeah, but $20,000
$20,000.
That makes mortgage payments.
I think that's probably my number where I'll sell out my team for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't know how much 20 really is. Maybe that's the issue here.
I'm a fan of the sport. Like, I'm not a fan of just these 26 people. It's not like these 26 people are no one.
You know what we need to do is do political parties, because then it would be harder for me. If you'd be like, Fred,
now hold
put on a Make America Great Again hat.
Now hold
How
on.
much?
Now hold on, JD Vance.
Yeah, nice.
So it's a pretty low number when it comes to politics. It's close to nothing.
You would get a lot of people that say, I'm not switching for 20, and they would mean it. You would mean
for
it.
20? It would take me more.
It would take me more to switch.
But I would. There's a number.
Oh, there's a number.
There's a number for that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At almost 40 years old, there
Yeah.
are things in my life that I don't need anymore, but I
Can
still
I-
support other people getting them.
Yeah.
I would say give me, I don't know exactly what number it is that would put me in a certain tax bracket or which side would be more favorable for that tax bracket. But if I was getting to get put into the high class and I was going to get taxed more, then that's when I would.
You've
not
never
switch.
made enough money to care about tax brackets. Like, we are not at that point.
Not yet, but I do see my net. I see my net pay versus my gross pay, and it hurts my stomach.
Yeah, I like.
Been there.
I love roads and hospitals too. They're pretty
Oh,
awesome.
I'm such a fan of Response to
Damn.
Fire.
You need a place to drive your new Cadillac, Zay. Your new Philadelphia Eagles colored
Van says, I love hospitals and roads. Yeah, I'll take an olive green Cadillac.
Yeah, baby.
Some white trim.
Kelly
Eagle-
green. Listen, don't
Kelly
get the out.
green.
Get the
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah.
The Kelly
Yeah.
green.
Kelly's where it's at.
That's the better one. If I was going to go from team blue to red, 100, maybe it would be more. I think
It would be more.
it would be more than 100 grand.
It'd be a lifetime's worth.
It would be. I don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And also, I'm removing myself from public eye, therefore, so I don't accidentally influence others. Because the disease that I have caught,
Yeah.
I cannot.
Can't give it to anyone
I
else.
cannot. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember how you were when you were in the hospital with COVID.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Exact same rules.
Yeah,
COVID
same-
rules.
COVID rules.
Isolate
You're a
me.
little switchy boy.
You remember when the astronauts, or I said when this happens, you know, when astronauts come back from outer space and they have to quarantine?
Yeah.
That. I want to be in that exact environment and situation where NASA will physically harm me if I try to escape.
Also, when you're weightless in space, you got to learn how to walk again. So there's that too.
You don't forget how to walk, dude.
Yeah, gravity affects your body differently. You have to relearn how to walk depending on how long you're in space.
You dummy. It just bounces back. It's not like you
Doesn't
don't.
just bounce back.
Yes, it does.
There's videos of astronauts like taking drinks of water and just thinking their water bottle is going to float away from them. It's mental and physical. Yeah,
But that's not real.
that is very real.
That would be
It is in the
hilarious.
100 percentile real.
You know, when you come back from outer space,
Yeah.
like, I think you're fine. Like, you just don't float around when you sleep anymore.
No,
You don't have to pee into a bag. It's like
your
a-
body hasn't experienced gravity for X amount of time, and the longer you're there, the more your muscles atrophy, and the more you aren't used to being affected by
I'm
gravity.
not saying you don't
have
need
to relearn how to walk.
assisted weights for a while. You do, but I'm saying you still walk.
With assistance.
How long does it take? Like a day,
I'm going to Google it in this commercial break for sure.
so that we can tell Josh, Sean,
Yeah.
whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. back to Two Men On. We are live from Sadie's on 4th. It was a very good show today.
Concur.
But it's not quite done because we put icing on this cake, and that icing is Josh Sushan. Josh, you're the icing on this cake. Spread it, brother.
Well, thank you very much. In order to make sure that I spread it properly, what made it a good show leading up to me spreading the icing?
Well, I think we're all very aware, and I don't want to overstate anything, but it was Rob Stratton. Rob Stratton made this the best show ever done.
Is his story something or what?
He told the PC version.
Sush, you tell yours.
No. I mean, just the story's just this, you know. I mean, he played for the Topes. He was the consummate, like a lot of strikeouts on home runs. He wins the home run derby as a player. He comes out of retirement. He wins the home run derby. The fact that he played here in Albuquerque, fell in love with the city, decided he wants to spend the rest of his life in the city, right? He retired in 2006. He's lived here ever since.
Yep.
He works as a teacher. He always brings like kids out to the ballpark. You know, he's just become such a cool part of the community. A community, but by the way, he was not from here. It's not like a Jordan Pacheco.
He's from your
who's
neighborhood.
from here and comes back here. He was from elsewhere, but he just wanted to live here. And now he's going for the three-peat, right? Now he's got a chance to win a third home run derby. And so I just think it's such a cool story.
So Van used to play men's league baseball with him here in town. I used to play men's league softball with Jared Gay.
Mm-hmm.
So we've decided to have like competitive, like Team Gay versus Team Stratton, like energy. And we believe one of the winners of the home run derby will come from our local athletes.
Well, there's a 50% chance of that happening.
What? How does that math work?
Because there's 4 teams, and each one of those guys is on one of the teams, so there's a 50% chance that that's going to happen.
I think it's a 100% chance that a local guy's going to win because each team's got one.
Yeah. Also,
but our guys specifically, I see what you're doing.
I meant Team Van and Team Fred.
Now, that leaves you, Sushan, with your own team. Like, who are you eyeing as the most competitive team in Home Run Derby X?
I'm on Team Andrea Howard.
Yeah, Team Lobo.
Smart.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very smart.
Wait, is that already like one of your guys' teams?
No.
Check the roster again.
It's not. I
don't have the rosters memorized. I had the rosters memorized 5 hours ago, but it already went out of the short-term memory. I need it in the long-term memory.
You're back in game mode.
Yeah. Andrea Howard, like it was really fun talking to her about, right? So she's used to underhand softball a shorter distance, so now she has to get used to overhand, but the velocity is less to her, right?
Yeah.
It's like she has more reaction time. And then even talking to her, you know, and she was like, you know, when I played, she pulled the ball to right and right center. And so like angling up the middle, and then the whole thing that she's going against her fiance, who's on a different team, the fact that they're both competing in it, that's like the cutest love story ever. So, you know, like I tell you what, like I was excited about Home Run Derby X, and then after today's press conference, I was like, can I come back for this? Because I'm going to be on the road with the Topes. I'm already starting to feel like some you know, missing out stuff.
If you want me to cover you on the road, I can handle that.
I'm good.
Okay. Didn't even let you finish your sentence.
I thought it might be a cool way to work together on a thing. Awkward. The Ice Topes have started.
Do you really want to go to Sugarland and it's super hot and muggy and 3-1 game and
no? But I want to help a
view
friend
from the press box, you know, where you can't even see. Like you have to stick your head out the window in order to see a fly ball, and then there's usually a fan that's right in front of you, and you're like next to their armpit in order to try and see a fly ball.
Josh reminds me of whenever we complain about radio,
to
friends of the show, and they're like, "You have the dream job."
Yeah.
Stop complaining.
We would do anything to trade with you right now.
I just got off my double overtime shift at the warehouse.
Sean's like, I gotta crick my neck to see the right field line.
They went from a fabric chair to a hard plastic.
I do hate it when they do that. The chair is important, right? Especially if you're a lower back, it's important.
Josh, the Ice Topes are trailing 0-2 to start the week against the visiting Round Rock whatevers. Tough one yesterday. The Ice Topes will win a game this week.
By the way, Their name is the Express. It's a really cool nickname. One of their owners is Nolan Ryan. His nickname was the Ryan Express, and so they are named after one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Anyway, you were asking about whether they will win. Here's the situation with the boys this year, right? And they have just lost so many close games, right? I was just adding it up. They're 10 and 18 in one-run games. They're 4 and 7 in two-run games. So that's a combined 14 and 25. That's 11 games under 500 in the close ones. And whenever it's a close game, you look back on yesterday, double play grounder, they don't turn it. It would have been out of the inning. Instead, a run scores. Another time where it's like, 2 nights ago, a blooper, tough play, super windy, shallow center, didn't make the catch, would have ended the game. Next batter, home run, you lose by 1, right? When you're losing by 1, when you're losing by 2, it's all those little things that us baseball nerds talk about when we say things like the things that don't show up in the box score. It's all of those things. It's not getting a runner over. It's not getting a runner in. It's not turning a double play. It's pitcher forgets to cover first base or you only get 1 out instead of 2 outs. Like all of those things is what leads to runs. And that's more times than not why you lose one-run games. And that's been the story this week. And really that's like, in my mind, that's probably the number one story of the year is just not executing enough defensively. It costs you a run or two, and then you lose by a run or two.
Sush, tonight is Just Serve night at the lab. Wise me up. What is Just Serve night? Sounds fun.
Yeah. So Just Serve is an organization. It's about, getting out in your community and serve your community. It's get involved and do things, which is what you may not know what it is, but it's what you and Fred do all the time. You guys walk the walk and talk the talk. You guys get out there and help out tons of different organizations. You volunteer, you help raise money. You guys do exactly what Just Serve wants everybody to do. And that's just get out there and find a way to make your community better. And that's what tonight's all about.
That's way better because I thought it would be like 2-for-1 drinks for service industry people. So I like that a lot.
I thought hold on, checking notes.
Okay.
I'm hearing something in my ear right now. Hold on.
My interpretation was it's whenever you put down a piece of cardboard on some concrete and then you just break off some sweet moves in front of someone.
Just serve them.
Yeah. Is that not it? Nope.
It's also if someone from the law department has been looking to find you and you have been a difficult person to find, that could also be what's happening tonight.
Might not come as a surprise to you, Sushan. That's happened to me more than once.
Have you guys heard those stories about like, hey, congratulations, you've won 4 free tickets to, this football game or whatever. Come on out and claim your prize. Oh, cool. And then they get served.
I love that so much. That is so sweet.
I think the most I've heard about servers is whenever all the airplanes got shut down last week. That's the most server that I really know. Who's on the pregame, Josh?
Pregame show is a dude by the name of Antoine Kelly.
Okay.
He just joined us the start of the week.
Welcome.
He pitched for Round Rock earlier this year, and then he made his Isotopes debut against the Round Rock Express. And so chatted with him about facing his former teammates and also just wanting to learn like some more background about this dude. Soft-spoken guy, really fun. And so I just wanted to get to know more about him.
I thought it would have been Roger Federer since it's Just Serve night.
Oh.
I get that.
Well, Roger was not available today. Maybe he'll be available tomorrow.
I feel like if I went tonight, I would hit a lot of people with thank you for your serve. That'd be my go-to. You got one, Josh? You got to name this this roulette?
Let's see. No, but, the talk about tennis made me think of my favorite thing about, like, service and return. So when Boris Becker played, he had a tell. Like, the way that he moved his tongue is how he would, like, serve. And Andre Agassi knew it. And like, Boris Becker once said in an interview, it's like he knows what's coming. And Andre said, yeah, I did. But he didn't say anything until the end of his career. It was awesome.
It was like if the tongue was to the inside, that's where he was going to serve, and if it was to the outside, that's where he was going to serve.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and Andre had it figured out. But Andre had to look down because he didn't want him to know that he knew it, so he just waited for the big point to tip it off.
Smart. That's what I do with poker tells.
Josh Sushan, do really good at broadcasting baseball tonight.
That's the goal.
Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. That camera got even worse, Isaiah.
Oh, did it? We'll fix it tomorrow.
Van Nunley, final words.
Too much for the time allotted, my friend. Anything we didn't cover here tonight, check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you at the lab tomorrow.